You're listening to The Garden Clinic on 2GB 873 and network stations across Australia.
Welcome back. Thanks for your company this morning. Now, this week, Uwe, the doc from Neutrog, is going to chat to us about the plant nutrients and their movement through the soil. This is interesting, and how microbes can improve this. Uwe, what have you been up to?
Graham, I thought I'd tackle something slightly differently. I'm sure that your listeners are probably aware that the plants require at least 17 different nutrients, which they take up primarily via the roots, obviously, and this occurs, so basically it has to happen when the roots are in close proximity to those nutrients. So this can only happen when the plant actually comes in direct contact, and the issue is that roots only really contact about 1 to 2% of the soil in total. So there's three mechanisms that are in play. Obviously, it's that direct interception of the nutrients when they come in contact with it. The second is what we call mass flow, and this is where water evaporates via transpiration from the leaves, and as that water is drawn out of the soil, the nutrients move along with the water in the soil. And the third is diffusion, which really just means that the nutrients move from a high concentration, from where you put down the fertilizer, to a low concentration in your soil.
But, of course, not all nutrients will move in the same way through the soil, I believe.
Exactly. Some nutrients are really highly soluble, so they move really easily by both this mass flow and diffusion. Things like sulfates and nitrates, and a lot of those micronutrients. So in mass flow, because the nutrients are drawn along with the water, they can work against the concentration gradients. So you can move from a low to a high concentration, whereas in diffusion, it only works from high to low. But mass flow is probably the most critical, but it only occurs if there's sufficient water. However, some nutrients don't move very much at all, regardless of the mechanism. And this includes some of those major nutrients, such as phosphate, and to some degree even potassium. And so that's because these are held really tightly by soil particles. And phosphate is particularly bad because it really becomes tied up with other elements in the soil and then becomes insoluble, so it's not available for the plants. And this is really where the microbes help a lot.
Well, you've got a whole range of nutrients in the soil and then pots that plants are dependent on. So how do these soil microbes actually help distribute that fertiliser?
Well, the great thing is,
you got a frog.
I have the great thing is bacteria and fungi that can solubilize phosphate. So basically it uncouples it from those other elements, and that makes it available for the plants to use. And similarly, there's other microbes that can solubilize potassium. But in order for this to happen, again, you need that diversity of microbes in the soil. So if you're using an organic fertilizer, such as, for example, teeming, together with something like GOGO Juice, that then encourages that diversity, and that then makes sure that all those nutrients are available for your plants to use.
Interesting. So if you're using the Seamungus pellets or watering on the GOGO Juice, it'll enhance your nutrient access for your plants. So you need to use these products, folks. Seamungus, it's a great time for putting that around the garden, and the GOGO Juice to get the critical microbial diversity happening and keeping your plants happy with all those nutrients. Both of these Neutrog products are available from Bunnings and various other hardware outlets as well, and of course at good garden centres. Thank you for that, mate. Can you have a little chat for me next week about blood and bone, because it's not always what people think and it's not as quick as what people think. Could you have a look at that for me?
For sure, not a problem. And hopefully I won't have a frog in my throat next week.
Good on you,
apologise for that.
No worries, pal. All the best to you. Thanks for your time.
Cheers.
Yeah, Dr. Uwe Storeher from Neutrog. Interesting. So you've got to have those beneficial organisms there, all little critters, to make all the fertilisers work. If you've got a healthy soil, that's what's happening.